Well, engineering physics class, I am terribly sorry that that incident happened this morning. I don't know how the people got our information. It could have been maybe off of the Google Calendar. I'm not exactly sure, but that was terrible. And going forward, I will make sure that that doesn't happen again. And so let me just say that if at any time you feel uncomfortable being in our class, you can, of course, feel free to leave. And if I see anyone that's not in the class, I will immediately kick them out. That being said, in the future, you will need to have a password for the meeting, and I will try and ensure that only authenticated users can join the meeting, and we will also be going to a waiting room feature. So when you join, then I will send you information about what you'll need to do to be able to enter the meeting. And I'll send that by email. That being said, I wanted to finish what I was talking about today because I didn't get a chance to uh, finish it, and I think we were talking about some important things. So I just wanted to say a few more things, and hopefully we can do that without interruptions. So let me go back to what we were talking about. And I just wanted to, there were only a couple more things, but I did want to finish what I was talking about today. So let me share my screen with you. This is a PowerPoint lecture. Okay. So we were talking about potential energy when we were so rudely interrupted. And this right here is the change in potential. So in this case, it's the change in potential of a spring, which would be delta U. We can store energy in a spring in the form of potential energy. When we release the spring, that potential energy becomes kinetic energy. When that happens, then all of the energy in our spring is lost and it gets transferred to kinetic energy. But we can calculate the change in potential energy of our spring using this integral. Okay, so because before we had that delta U, the top, was equal to the integral of x1 to x2, the integral of f of x dx. Okay, and there should be a negative symbol there. In the case of Hooke's law, we know that f of x is equal to minus kx. So that is Hooke's law. And Hooke's law is a variable force. The force increases as we stretch it out. And so the farther you stretch the spring away from equilibrium, then the higher the force is going to be. So let me draw a little block here. So imagine we had a block on a frictionless plane, and here is our spring. And at some point, the spring will be at the equilibrium position, and we will call this x equals 0. When we displace the spring from equilibrium, we have to do work in order to do that. So if I move my spring over here a little bit, now we have moved over here, and this would be x equals x1. And in this case, we've displaced it by a positive amount, and so then the force would be negative. That's a restorative force that's negative because it wants to bring the spring back to the center. If we move our block in the other direction, so let's say we move our block over here, so now we've displaced it, x will equal minus x2. Then that means that our force would be positive because it wants to bring back the block to the equilibrium position, which is in the positive direction from where we've displaced. That's the second case if it's over here. So if we want to know the change in potential, we can take our force from Hooke's law and we can plug it in to this integral. And we saw this result before. In this case, it's minus k of x. And so in here, we should actually have a k somewhere. It looks like they dropped it. The two minus signs cancel. And so we just get k of x. Well, we, from calculus, know that the antiderivative of x is 1/2 x squared. So if we did that, we would, the exponent is 1. If we take the antiderivative, we would add 1 there. We get a 2, and then we divide by the exponent. So that's where, so when this becomes 2, we divide by that, we get a 1/2 here. Okay, so we have 1/2 k x squared. That's our new, that's the integral using Hooke's law. And so this formula gives us the answer for the change in potential. Okay, so now we have two terms here. We have xi and x of f. And if we say that xi is the initial position, so that's our equilibrium position. If xi equals 0, now we have delta u equals 1/2 k of x squared. That's the change in potential. And if we want to displace our block by that much, if it's attached to a spring, that's how much work we're going to have to do against the force of the spring. Okay, so this formula gives us the answer of how much potential energy we can store in our spring as a function of displacement. So when we displace x by x amount, that gives us an energy in the form with the units of joules. Okay, so